Well, then let's just jump ahead a little bit to the 1800s. And two magnificent discoveries happened of two manuscripts, one called Codex Sinaiticus and one called Codex Vaticanus. Codex Sinaiticus was a Bible in Greek, all the Old Testament and all the New Testament. And it was in St. Catherine's monastery in the Sinai. And a man named Tischendorf, Count von Tischendorf, a Russian who was very wealthy, made it his life's goal to find ancient manuscripts. And one day he went to this monastery and he saw next to the fireplace an urn. And in that urn were rolled up scrolls. And he said, "What are those?" And the monk said, "We don't know. We don't know what they are. We use them to light fires." And it was the most ancient copies of the Septuagint, or the Greek Old Testament. So he said, "Well, do you have any more of that?" And then eventually the abbot told him, "Yeah, I read Greek, and why don't you come on over to my room tonight and I'll show you my Greek New Testament." Well, Tischendorf said, "Can I take this for the evening?" Well, he took it for the evening, went to his room, looked at it, and realized he was looking at the most ancient copy of the Greek Old Testament and the Greek New Testament. He figured it was about 4th century AD. Well, Tischendorf flipped out. He couldn't sleep that night. And the next morning he asked the abbot, "Can I please borrow this?" And the abbot said, "Oh, sure, why not?" So Tischendorf took off with Codex Sinaiticus. The monks still have a note pinned to their bulletin board there in Tischendorf's signature, "I borrowed your Bible. I'm going to bring it back." He never did. Eventually, he worked out a deal that the abbot got promoted and Russia got the manuscript. And then when Russia turned communist, they didn't want it anymore. So they sold it to the British Museum in London for $1 million. And that's where it is today. Codex Sinaiticus.